Let me tell you something I've seen 1,000 times in my practice. A fellow walks into my office, mid-60s, maybe 70, looking healthier than most guys half his age. He eats right. He walks every morning. He hasn't smoked a day in his life. And then the blood work comes back, and I have to sit him down and tell him his kidneys are running at 40%. He stares at me like I just told him the sky was green. "Doc," he says, "how the heck did this happen? I've been taking care of myself." And here's the tough part I have to break to him. It wasn't the big stuff. It wasn't one terrible decision or one bad year. It was the little things, the quiet, everyday habits he never gave a second thought to, the kind of stuff most of us do without even noticing. My name is Dr. Noah Prescott. I've been practicing internal medicine for over 30 years now, mostly right here in the Midwest. And if there's one organ I've watched get ignored more than any other, it's the kidneys. Your heart gets all the headlines. Your brain gets all the worry. But those two bean-shaped workhorses tucked up under your ribs, they just keep filtering away, day after day, without ever asking for a thing. Until one day, they can't anymore. Now I'm talking to the men watching this, especially you fellas who've hit 60, 70, 80, and beyond. You've earned your stripes. You've worked hard, raised families, served your country maybe, built something in this world. And I'm not here to lecture you. I'm here to tell you straight, the way I'd tell my own brother, what I've learned about keeping those kidneys running strong for the years you've got left. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because the fifth habit on this list might be sitting in your medicine cabinet right now, and it's the one that catches more of my patients off guard than any other. Let's get into it. The first habit I want to talk about is one I see in damn near every retired man who comes through my door. Sitting too long, lying around too much. I get it. Believe me. You worked 40, 50 years on your feet or behind a desk, and now you've finally earned the right to park yourself in that recliner and watch the game. The problem is, your kidneys don't care that you earned it. They need your blood moving, and when you sit still for hours on end, your circulation slows down. Your blood pressure creeps up, and your kidneys end up working harder to do the same job they used to do easy. I had a patient last year, retired school teacher, good man named Frank. He told me he'd been taking it easy since his wife passed, which meant he was sitting in his chair for 10, 12 hours a day watching old westerns. 2 years of that, and his kidney function had dropped like a stone. Nothing dramatic happened to him. No heart attack, no stroke. Just sitting. Just stillness. That's all it took. Here's what I tell everyone. Every 30 minutes, you get up. You don't have to run a marathon. Stand up, stretch your back, walk to the kitchen, fold some laundry, step out on the porch and check the weather. Anything. Just move. When you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, take 5 or 10 minutes to stretch out and get the blood flowing. A short walk around the block after breakfast works wonders. Your posture matters too. Slumping compresses everything, makes your kidneys work harder than they need to. Sit up straight, shoulders back like your old drill sergeant used to holler at you. Your kidneys will thank you for it, even if your back complains a little at first. Now let's talk about what's on your plate, because this is where a lot of us get ourselves in trouble without realizing it. Too much salt. Too much sugar. And I'm not talking about folks who pour salt on everything or drink soda with every meal. I'm talking about the regular American diet, the stuff we all grew up on, the stuff that's hiding in places you'd never expect. You ever look at the sodium content on a can of soup? Go ahead. Next time you're at the grocery store, pick one up and flip it over. You'll find more sodium in one can than you should be eating in a whole day. Same with deli meats, frozen dinners, those microwave pot pies, even bread. Bread, for crying out loud. The average American man eats damn near twice the sodium he should, and most of it isn't coming from the salt shaker. It's coming from the processed stuff we grab because it's easy. What salt does to your kidneys is pretty straightforward. It jacks up your blood pressure, and high blood pressure is like running a garden hose at full blast through a coffee filter. Eventually, that filter tears. Your kidneys are that filter. They're made up of millions of tiny little filtering units called nephrons, and when the pressure stays too high for too long, those nephrons start breaking down. And here's the kicker. They don't grow back. What you lose for good. Sugars know better. You'd be surprised how many men I see in their 70s who've developed type 2 diabetes just from decades of too much added sugar. And diabetes is the #1 cause of kidney failure in this country. Not close to #1, it's #1. Roughly half the people on dialysis in America are there because of diabetes. When your blood sugar stays high, it damages the tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys, and if nobody catches it early, it leads to protein leaking into your urine, chronic kidney disease, and eventually kidney failure. So what do you do about it? Start reading labels. I know, you've been eating this stuff your whole life and you turned out fine. But fine at 40 isn't the same as fine at 70. Your kidneys don't have the reserve they used to. Look for low-sodium versions of your favorite canned goods. If you buy canned beans or vegetables, give them a rinse under the tap before you cook them. That'll wash off about 40% of the sodium. Make your own salad dressing. It's just oil, vinegar, and whatever herbs you like. Pack a lunch from home instead of hitting the drive-thru. Season your food with garlic, black pepper, rosemary, thyme, paprika, whatever you've got in the spice rack. You'll be amazed how good food tastes when it's not drowning in salt. And on the sugar side, cut back on the obvious stuff, the sodas, the sweet tea, the desserts. But also watch out for the sneaky sugar, barbecue sauce, ketchup, salad dressings, flavored yogurts, granola bars that pretend to be healthy. A lot of that stuff has more sugar per serving than a candy bar. Habit number 3 is eating too much meat, and I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. You fellas grew up on steak and potatoes. Hamburger on the grill every Sunday, bacon and eggs every morning. That's the American way, and I'm not telling you to go vegan. I'm really not. But I am telling you that animal protein, especially red meat and processed meat, puts a real load on your kidneys. Here's why. When you eat protein, your body breaks it down and your kidneys have to filter out all the waste products that come from that process. Things like urea and creatinine. The more protein you eat, the harder your kidneys have to work. For a healthy young man, that's no big deal. His kidneys can handle it. But as we get older, our kidney function naturally declines. A man at 70 has maybe 60 or 70% of the kidney function he had at 25. That's normal aging. But if you're pounding down a 12-ounce ribeye every night on top of that, you're asking those kidneys to do overtime when they're already punching the clock part-time. Now, are all proteins created equal? Not even close. Plant proteins, beans, lentils, tofu, nuts, whole grains, those put way less strain on your kidneys than animal proteins. Fish and poultry are easier on your system than red meat. And processed meats, the hot dogs, the bacon, the lunch meat, the sausages, those are the worst offenders because they combine high protein with sky-high sodium and a bunch of preservatives your kidneys have to deal with. I'm not asking you to swear off steak. I love a good ribeye myself. I'm a Midwestern boy. I grew up on this stuff. What I'm asking is that you be smart about it. Maybe red meat becomes a twice-a-week thing instead of a daily thing. Maybe you try fish on Fridays, like the Catholics have been doing forever. Maybe you swap out one meat meal a week for a big pot of bean chili or lentil soup. Small changes, nothing drastic. Your kidneys notice these things, even if your taste buds don't. The 4th habit is one I wish more men talked about, and that's holding in your urine. Now, I know this is one of those things fellas don't want to discuss, but we're all adults here, so let's be honest. A lot of you, for one reason or another, are sitting on a full bladder longer than you should. Maybe you're driving long distances, maybe you're at a ball game, maybe you're in a meeting, or you're working in the garage, and you don't want to stop what you're doing. Maybe you've got prostate issues and going to the bathroom has become a frustrating experience, so you put it off. Whatever the reason, holding it in is bad news for your kidneys. When your bladder stays full for too long, the pressure backs up toward your kidneys. Bacteria have more time to multiply in that warm, still urine, and those bacteria can travel up and cause urinary tract infections. UTIs in older men aren't the nuisance they are for younger women. They can get serious fast. They can spread to your kidneys and cause a kidney infection, which can scar the tissue and permanently knock down your kidney function. And here's something a lot of you fellas don't know. Holding urine regularly can weaken your bladder muscles over time, making it harder to empty completely when you do go. That leftover urine is a breeding ground for infection, and the cycle keeps going. So when nature calls, you answer. Don't be a hero. Don't wait until the next rest stop. Don't finish the inning. Get up and go. If you find yourself running to the bathroom a lot at night or feeling like you can never quite empty out, talk to your doc. Don't just suffer through it. That could be an enlarged prostate, which is common as dirt in men over 60, and there are good treatments for it these days. No reason to put up with it. Stay hydrated too. A lot of older men drink way less water than they need because their thirst signals weaken as they age. You might not feel thirsty, but your body still needs the water. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses a day, unless your doctor has told you different. Keep a water bottle by your chair, by your bed, in the truck. Sip on it throughout the day. Clear, pale yellow urine is what you're shooting for. Dark yellow or amber means you're behind on your water. All right, now we get to habit number 1. And this is the one I warned you about at the start. The one sitting in your medicine cabinet, overlooking the risks of the medications you're taking, especially the over-the-counter stuff you grab without thinking. I had a patient just this past spring, 81 years old, sharp as a tack, independent, still driving. Came in because he was feeling tired and his ankles were puffy. We ran the labs and his kidney function had dropped significantly from his baseline just 6 months earlier. I asked him what had changed. He said nothing. Same diet, same exercise, same everything. But then I asked about his medications, and it came out that he'd been taking ibuprofen every single day, sometimes twice a day, for his arthritis, for months. He said his buddy had told him it worked better than Tylenol, and since it was sold right there at the pharmacy, how bad could it be? Folks, those common painkillers, the ibuprofen, the naproxen, the Aleve, the Advil, they're called NSAIDs, and they are hell on your kidneys when you take them regularly, especially as you get older. They reduce blood flow to the kidneys, and over time, they can cause real damage. 1 or 2 doses for a headache? Not a big deal. Taking them daily for months or years for your knees or your back? That's a different animal. And it's not just NSAIDs. Certain antacids, especially the ones that have been around for decades, some laxatives, herbal supplements that claim to do everything from boost your immune system to help you sleep. A lot of these things can stress your kidneys, and a lot of them can interact badly with prescription medications you're already taking. This brings me to something I hear from men your age almost every week. And it's the question that prompted me to make this video in the first place. Guys come in and ask, "Doc, I'm on blood pressure medicine. I've been on it for years, and now I'm worried it's hurting my kidneys. What do I do? Do I stop taking it?" I want to address this straight on because it's a real concern, and I don't want anyone getting it twisted. The answer is no. You do not stop taking your blood pressure medication on your own. Never. Not for any reason. High blood pressure that isn't controlled will destroy your kidneys a whole lot faster than any blood pressure medicine will. I've seen it happen. I've seen men stop their lisinopril because their neighbor told them it was bad for the kidneys, and 3 years later, they're on dialysis because their uncontrolled hypertension did way more damage than the pill ever could. Here's the truth. Most blood pressure medications, especially the ones in the ACE inhibitor and ARB family, like lisinopril and losartan, are actually protective for your kidneys when they're used correctly. They lower the pressure inside the kidney filters themselves, which takes the strain off those little nephrons we talked about earlier. For men with diabetes or early kidney disease, these are often the first medications we reach for. What you should do, and this is important, is have an honest sit-down with your doctor. Tell them your concerns. Get your kidney function checked with a simple blood test, something called a GFR, and a urine test to check for protein. If those numbers are stable, keep doing what you're doing. If they're slipping, your doctor can adjust your medications, change to a kidney-friendlier option, or look at other factors that might be causing the decline. But you work with your doctor. You don't go it alone, and you don't take medical advice from the guy at the coffee shop. Same goes for any other medication you're on. Diabetes pills, cholesterol medicine, blood thinners. Don't stop them on your own. Don't double up on them. Bring a list of everything you take, including the over-the-counter stuff and the supplements, to every single appointment. I can't tell you how many times I've caught a bad interaction just by having a patient dump his pill bottles out on my desk. It's one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself. Now, before I wrap this up, I want to talk to you fellas for a minute, man to man. Kidney disease is called a silent disease for a reason. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't give you obvious symptoms until you've already lost a whole lot of function. Most men don't know they have it until it's pretty far along. By the time your ankles are swelling, or you're feeling exhausted all the time, or your appetite's gone, you've usually lost more than half your kidney function. That's why I'm begging you to get checked every single year at your physical. Ask your doctor to run a basic metabolic panel and a urine test. It's cheap, it's easy, and it can catch kidney problems years before you'd ever notice them on your own. Medicare covers it. There's no reason not to do it. The sooner we catch a problem, the more we can do about it. Caught early, a lot of kidney issues can be slowed way down or even stopped in their tracks. Caught late, you're looking at dialysis or a transplant, and neither one of those is any way to spend your golden years. Let me also say this. What I've talked about today isn't some crash diet or extreme lifestyle overhaul. I'm not asking you to give up everything you love. I'm asking you to move a little more. Cut back on the salt and sugar a little. Eat a little less red meat. Pee when you need to pee. And pay attention to what you're putting in your body, especially medications. That's it. 5 habits. Small changes. Nothing crazy. You've got a lot of life left to live. Grandkids to watch grow up. Maybe great-grandkids. Fishing trips, card games, church potlucks, whatever fills your cup. Your kidneys are what let you do all that, day in and day out without complaint. Show them a little respect and they'll keep showing up for you. Now I want to hear from you. If you're on daily medication, and a lot of you watching this probably are, leave a comment and let me know what you're taking. I read every comment I can, and I'm planning to do a follow-up video specifically on medications and kidney health, with special focus on blood pressure pills, diabetes medicine, and pain relievers. Your questions will shape that video, so don't be shy. There's no such thing as a dumb question when it comes to your health, and if you found this helpful, do me a favor and send it to another man in your life, your brother, your father, your neighbor, your buddies at the VFW hall. This information has a way of saving lives, but only if it gets in the right hands. The sooner a man hears this stuff, the more he can do about it. Take care of yourselves out there. Move a little, eat a little smarter, listen to your body, and talk to your doctor. I'll see you in the next one.